Welcome metalheads to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George. Today I have another episode of Heavy Relics for you, where I'll be showing off 6 of my latest cassette purchases, all of which, these are the offending articles, all of which were ordered via Signal Rex, that is REX, a label and web store distro based in Portugal. Very reasonable prices, very reasonable shipping rates, and they have a web store absolutely overflowing with amazing underground goodies, particularly if you're a fan and a follower of black metal, but also if you're looking for rare articles such as these and limited reissues or represses, things like that. Signal Rex has an absolute expanse. I'll put a link in the description as well so you can check it out. If you're in Europe, UK, not sure about elsewhere, I think they ship worldwide, but check out the web store. We've got so much good stuff. I've actually also just received my second order from the web store as well, from Signal Rex, so that review will be coming soon too. But these particular ones I am really pleased with. So this was a bit of a wild card order. I wasn't really necessarily looking for all of these items. There was one item in particular that I was looking for, and the other items just helped sort of justify the postage costs, if you like. So I'll take you through what we have here. First of all, I have, if I don't drop them and break them, I have 3 Candlemass tapes. So to give you a little bit of background on my relationship with Candlemass, although they are a very important band in the doom metal world, Swedish doom metal pioneering band, I never really got into them. Although they are a massive band that influenced so many other artists, I never really actually got into them. They kind of passed me by, which is a bit odd because I don't have a single Candlemass CD, but I have a whole bunch of Candlemass vinyl, which I kind of got as part of a job lot that I bought from someone online. But I decided to make it my mission to actually get into Candlemass a little bit more because they are such an important band, such a pioneering band. They are referenced as a major influence on so many other bands. They're kind of heralded as having so many classics. I just thought I need to rectify this and plug that gap in my metal knowledge. So I thought, as I had seen that these 3 albums in particular were on limited tape reissues, I thought I'm going to give this a go. And they were about €9 a piece, something like that, €10, which is not a huge amount really when you consider that you can't get hold of these albums new on CD, but you can get hold of them on limited cassette. Kind of doesn't make a huge amount of sense. So this particular one, this is the self-titled Candlemass album, which was originally released in 2005. And this is a limited edition of 300 copies, re-released by Darkness Shall Rise Productions in 2001, under license from Nuclear Blast Records. So we've got that lovely white tape shell there, really cool. And I must say, this album is really, really good, actually. Really enjoying this album. I've listened to it quite a few times since I have received it. Nice little insert there. So it's worth mentioning that this album was the last album to feature vocalist Messiah Marcolin, who took over after their second now, after the first album, so for the second album, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, so please, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But this album is really good. Really enjoy it. It's doom, but you've also got plenty of sort of more traditional heavy metal elements as well in there. But it's just full of really good material, such as the opening track Black Dwarf. That is particularly brilliant. I love Assassin of the Light. We've also got Witches, and album highlight for me, Born in a Tank, which is really sort of heavy metal bruiser. It's just a great album. Really good album, full of great riff work. You've got some good doomy passages and doomy riffs, but really this is sort of heavy metal in my opinion. Heavy metal that's doomy, or doomy heavy metal, whatever you like. But Candlemass, self-titled album, really nice little relic to have there, certainly as it is one of 300, which leads on nicely to the next album, which was from 2007, again, this is a Darkness Shall Rise release. This is the next one. This is King of the Grey Islands. Now, this album, this does not feature Messiah McCollin on vocals. This album, if I can remember his name, features his replacement, who was Robert Lowe on vocals. Now, he doesn't sound like Messiah. No, definitely not. But he does have a really good voice. So vocally, you have got someone different at the helm there, but actually he's a really good vocalist. And this is a really good album. I'd say this is a little bit darker and a little bit more, at the same time, a little bit more doomy than the self-titled album there. But it's a great one. Absolutely love it. Nice black shell there. Really appreciate the fact that they put logos and all the font on there. Really cool. Some great tracks on here, such as Emperor of the Void. That is a brilliant one. Doomy, but it's got that good heavy metal vibe. Devil Seed. Demonia 6. Just picking out my sort of personal favourites, because like as I say, none of these Candlemass albums I'm particularly familiar with, so I really am still getting acquainted with them. But I would say that they are fantastic, and if you've not heard them, but you like good heavy metal, if you like Doom, I'm thinking sort of Trouble, St. Vitus, Black Sabbath, if you're liking that, but you're also liking your heavy metal, if you're liking Grim Reaper, if you're liking Saxon, then you're definitely going to find some stuff that you enjoy here. Clear Sight, another great one. Embracing the Sticks. I've also got a couple of bonus tracks here which have sort of reworked older material, such as At the Gallows End and Solitude. But I do think that actually these are incorrectly labelled, because I think it's actually the other way round when you listen to it on the tape. So that might be a slight misprint, but I think of the two albums so far, I think I prefer this one just a little bit. I think King of the Grey Islands is a particularly strong album. It's a really brilliant one. Lovely to have it in this nice little shiny cassette form. So that's article number 2. And as I've alluded to there, I've got another Candlemass tape, and this one is by far my favourite and the best. This is Death Magic Doom. Again, this is one of 300, just as the other two are. This is a Darkness Shall Rise release again, and it's in lovely gold format there, lovely gold shell. Really looks the part. And this album is so freaking good. We've got Robert Lowe again on vocals. Nice little insert there. Really high quality, I should mention as well. It's not like flimsy paper. This is proper nice card. It actually smells like nice, fresh card. And you might think that's weird, but it's like when you open up a new book. It's got that lovely new paper smell. It's just, call me weird if you like, I don't care. But you've got some brilliant tracks here. Absolutely fantastic. The first 3 tracks in particular. We've got If I Ever Die, which is a heavy metal stomping rager. You've got Faster Edge, but those thick riffs, full of groove. Absolutely brilliant. And then you've got the Doom Spectacular of Hammer of Doom, second track there, which is the best track on the album. It's an amazing track. It's heavy as hell and it's doomy. It's so evil. It's kind of evil in the way that the Black Sabbath title track from that self-titled first album is just one of the most evil things ever. It's in that vein. It's doomy, it's drony, it's spine-tingling stuff. We've also got the Bleeding Baroness, which is quite an epic. House of 1,000 Voices, which is creepy as hell. It's very sinister, but it's a good heavy metal track. Elsewhere, Dead Angel, another good one. Those are my personal highlights, certainly those first 3 tracks, and also House of 1,000 Voices. So out of all these 3 albums, Death Magic Doom is definitely my favourite so far. Really love it, and it's kind of inspired me to actually listen to some of those other Candlemass albums and delve into those Candlemass LPs that I have as well a little bit more. So Candlemass, Death Magic Doom, that's the 3rd article. So then we come on to the article in particular that drew my attention to this web store in the first place, because I was very interested by an item that I'd ordered from Cult Never Dies recently, and that was featured in one of the more recent Heavy Relics episodes I did. I did Enthroned Darkness Triumphant by Dimmu Borgir, But what I didn't realise at the time was that you could also find, which is one of 300 again, I think it's like 333, you can get their first album, For All Tid or Tide. I'm not really sure how you're meant to pronounce that, but I'm going to say For All Tid, T-I-D. Kind of makes sense to me. If I'm wrong, please do correct me. But this one, this is a really interesting album. Now, I'm a big Dimmu Borgir fan, but oddly enough, this album, I think, is a really very unique album. It's not a very good representation of what Dimmu Borgir have become or became over time. This album is miles apart from even that third album, Enthroned Darkness Triumphant, or even the second album, Stormblast. This is miles apart. This is very melancholic, very gothic, very symphonic. It is black metal, yes, but it's very soft in comparison to those later albums where they were quite abrasive and fast. There's still black metal. You've still got some good riffs there. You've got some good vocal work from Shagrath as well. So there's the guys trying to really look the black metal part there, looking very much like Mayhem and Dark Throne a few years prior, because I believe this was 1995, so a little bit late for second wave black metal, really. Certainly a little bit late to be considered pioneering, but I would say that this is kind of pioneering in its melancholic gothic sense. Loads of synths, loads of keys, very much akin to Emperor, but taking it a notch further. But there is some good vocal work, there is some good guitar work as well. But what really amazed me when I listened to this again for the first few sort of runs, I do have it on CD, I have heard it numerous times before, but just how kind of Dimmu Borgir it really sounds, because I'm so used to hearing albums like In Sorte Diaboli or Enthroned Darkness Triumphant, or the other bits and pieces here and there as well. Of course, they've got quite a good sized catalogue now, but actually just how different this sounds. But it's really refreshing in a way. It's quite a good listen. It's the sort of thing that you can put on, and it's got plenty of atmospherics. It's got plenty of interesting elements in there. So it's definitely one that I'm going to listen to more. It sounds great on this lovely analog tape format. So as I say, it's a limited run. Black. Love the artwork. Absolutely love the artwork there. Just show that off again. Fantastic. So yeah, if you like melancholic black metal, then this is definitely an album for you. Certainly, if you like Emperor, or if you like some more of the kind of soundscape bands, definitely check this out. For All Tid by Dimmu Borgir, Norwegian black metal legends from 1995, their debut album. So then we've got an album now, another one that I was not familiar with. I was familiar with the band because I ordered their first album, Chronet something something, from Cult Never Dies, and I just happened to stumble upon their second album, or the second album from Dodheimsgard, a black metal supergroup from Scandinavia, Norway, I believe. This is one of 500, originally released by Malicious Records in 1996, under license from Peaceville, and this is a Darkness Shall Rise 2020 reissue. Now this album is entitled Monumental Possession, and it's on a lovely gold shell there. Really nice, looks the part. And this album is completely different from the first album. That first album featured the great Fenres of Dark Throne fame on bass guitar, but this album is a completely different beast altogether. We've got quite a stellar lineup here, because we have Apollyon from Aura Noir and Immortal fame, amongst numerous other very important black metal projects. We've also got Yulva and Bikotnik, and someone else that I can't pronounce the name of. Not really sure. I should probably fill in the gaps of my trivia there, but I would say that this is actually a really solid album. This is really good. It sounds miles apart from their first album. This sounds, to me, it does sound quite like Aura Noir at times. It sounds a little bit like Dark Throne at times. It's a really good album, really good. Plenty of great riffs, plenty of abrasive black metal edge there, but it's just really good, full of great tracks. In particular, I really enjoy Utopia Running Scarlet, second track. We've also got Monumental Possession, the title track, Angel Death, Lost in Faces as well. Just brilliant, really good stuff. If you like black metal, but with some of those sort of thrashier riffs and Apollyon just being an absolute machine, then Dodheimsgard, Monumental Possession is an album for you. As I've said, I'm not massively familiar with this because I've listened to it maybe sort of 4 or 5 times now, but it's definitely growing on me. It's definitely growing on me. I think I probably do prefer it to that first album. Both kind of have their own magic and kind of mystery to them, but this, considering this was 1996, this was a little bit late again for second wave black metal, but this is brilliant. I almost can't believe that I didn't hear it sooner, and I can't believe that this isn't more of an influential album, because this is just as high quality as albums like Black Thrash Attack from the mighty Aura Noir. So, Dodheimsgard, bit of a wild card there. Monumental Possession, as I say, wasn't familiar with it, but now I certainly am. And I should mention, it comes in a gold case, which is really cool. And that brings me to the final article from this particular order, and this is an album that I'm very familiar with, and a lot of people will be very familiar with this, because this is one of the key Catalyst albums. On tape, originally released in 1984 by Noise Records, and reissued in 2022 by Darkness Shall Rise. This is the debut album from Celtic Frost, Godfathers, first wave black metal legends with Morbid Tales. I love this album. This is a freaking masterpiece. Looks so cool on that lovely black shell with red writing on it. This album, amazing. Tom G. Warrior, what an absolute legend that guy is. Some of the best material. We've also got Martin Ain on bass vocals, and we've got Steve Priestley on drums there. So there's the guys looking black metal. Looking very black metal indeed. This is a freaking good album. This is full of speedy, fast, abrasive, just heavy metal, speed metal, thrash metal, whatever you want to call it, just kind of thrown into the mix to create that first wave black metal. Full of speed. Throw elements of Venom in there. Throw elements of Motorhead in there. And that gives you a good idea of what you've got on this absolute defining classic album. Interestingly enough, this album does contain some of the most legendary Celtic Frost fan favourites, such as Into the Crypts of Rays, which is just so freaking good. Dark and heavy, but full of that speed, the double bass, abrasion. Procreation of the Wicked, which is a kind of doomier, slower track, more of a stomping pace. Absolutely amazing. Same with Dethroned Emperor, which is so dark, so evil in its sound. Absolutely brilliant. The musicianship is amazing. Those riffs, Tom G. Warrior, absolute legend. You can hear embryonic, progressive parts coming in here that would then later down the line spearhead the mighty Triptychon as well. Morbid Tales, that is more akin to a Venom Motorhead track. Plenty of attitude, plenty of groove there. Return to Eve, very interesting track. Just so good. Just reading the titles just makes the songs instantly come to mind. So memorable. And considering that this was 1984, this is their first album, just how brilliant it sounds and how advanced and progressed the material sounds. It doesn't sound like juvenile youngsters. It sounds like accomplished musicians who know what they're doing. But it's fast and it's loose, and it's not the greatest musicians or talented musicianship. No, but these songs are so good, absolutely amazing. So yeah, I don't need to say too much about Morbid Tales, because this is such a highly regarded and legendary album. But if you've never heard it, you must check out Into the Crypts of Rays, Dethroned Emperor, Procreation of the Wicked, and I'd also say Return to Eve, because that is a great track. Celtic Frost, the legendary Tom G. Warrior and Co. with Morbid Tales. Love it. So, there you have it. That is my 6 cassette tapes ordered from in my first order from Signal Rex from Portugal. Definitely be scouring their web store again at some point soon, as I've got my second order here already ready to go. But do check them out. They've got so much good stuff on there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Loving these tapes. Check them out. If you haven't heard these albums, they are all great albums. As I said, some new material that I'm still getting familiar with, so maybe I'll be talking about them again in the future. You never know. Thank you very much for watching, my friends. What are your thoughts and opinions on these albums? Like to hear the thoughts and opinions of others, of course, as always. Thanks very much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Do check out Signal Rex. Do come back soon for more reviews and recommendations, of course. As always, take care, my friends, and stay heavy.